Hey everybody, it's Gus from Askewed Reviews, and I'm doing a new episode of Creature Madness. Now, if you don't know what Creature Madness is, this was actually a creation done by one of my good friends, Matthew, over at Horror Madness. And what he did is he decided to do kind of a movie club where he invited some of his friends to come together, and then we all watch a creature feature, and then each of us does our own review on the film. Now, aside from myself and Matthew, the other members of this club are Bambi, Amariah, Ashley, Jen, and Ryan. And speaking of Ryan, it was actually his turn to choose what movie we watched this time around. And he chose the 2006 film Slither, directed and written by James Gunn. So, Slither is a great throwback to those classic monster movies from the 50s and the 80s. Here's the concept for you. We have a meteor that crashes in a small town. When a man named Grant stumbles upon it, and then something comes out of it and then seems to kind of take him over a bit. Now, the taking over of people does not stop with Grant. In fact, he manages to make more of these creatures, and then they start infecting the whole town. So, for the most part, the town looks pretty well screwed. However, though, there are some locals that are going to try and stop everything, including the sheriff, Bill Party, Starla, who is actually Grant's wife, but also has some sort of past relationship with Bill, and of course, the town mayor, Jack McCready. This is a film I would absolutely love to watch at a drive in movie theater. It really reminds me of The Blob or Night of the Creeps. So, if me talking about the movie Slither seems at all familiar, that means you probably have seen the episode of Cinema Society Saturday that I did about this film. Feel free to check that out at your leisure. This film, by the way, also has an amazing cast. You have Nathan Fillion, Elizabeth Banks, Michael Rooker, and Greg Henry, all as the main characters. Also, at some point, I guarantee I'm going to finally do a trivia review about this film. Now, when it comes to my rating of this film, I do agree with my previous rating, which is a 3 out of 5. I thoroughly love this movie, and if it was only based on my enjoyment, it would get a 4 out of 5. But I am going to stick with a 3 out of 5 for this one. Now, I own this movie, and that's how I'm able to watch it. But if you want to be able to stream it for yourself, I don't see it streaming for free anywhere, but it is able to be rentable in quite a few places. Now it's time for the portion of Creature Madness where I go over more details about the creatures themselves. So, the first thing I'm going to mention are these slug like creatures, which are in fact aliens, that try to worm their way over to humans and then get inside of them and take them over. Once they do take them over, they become a hive mind, and the people become zombie like in nature. However, though, there does appear to be almost like an alpha of the group who is going to be the one that really truly transforms and becomes something out of John Carpenter's The Thing. So it appears that the job of this alpha is to create more of these creatures. Now, I would say that it impregnates a person, but I would almost say it's more or less using a person as an incubator until its spawn are ready to just break out into the world. So this has been my edition of Creature Madness, all about the film Slither. Now, if you want to see what everyone else in the group did for their videos, it's very simple. All you have to do is look up the hashtag Creature Madness.